everybody. Thank you for joining Trustpilot's webinar, 5 Ways to Turn Your Reputation to Revenue, exploring some of Trustpilot's latest innovations. To get us started, I just wanted to introduce the speakers for today. So myself, hi everyone. I am Elise Slocum, our Vice President of Product and Audience Marketing at Trustpilot. And with me, I have my colleague, Drew Bish, Director of Product Marketing, and he is going to be helping me take us through some of the key steps to turn your reputation and building the trust that you've earned into a growth lever for your business. And today in the agenda, we're going to cover 3 key pieces. So one is understanding the trust gap, what we mean by trust gap, and how it is the missing link between you and your customers. Then we're diving into the 5 ways that you can actually unlock growth by using trust. And then we're going to highlight some of our latest tools and see what else is new. Just last month, we launched a number of really great innovative products, and we're really excited to show you a few of them and what they can do to help. All right, so to get started, before we even talk about trust for business, we just want to talk about trust because the concept itself, it's a big concept. It feels very lofty, and that's because it is. Trust is a big deal, and I think many people know that it is important, but it can be incredibly hard to wrap your head around what it means for your business. You know, it matters, and it can actually dictate what drives growth for your business as well. So business leaders, marketers of the past, they would say that trust is an output of years of investment in building your brand. Most companies, especially larger enterprises, they've run surveys, they've done focus groups, and that's very important. And building really great products is also incredibly important. But the true bit of all of this is that there's actually no silver bullet when it comes to building trust. However, it is quite actionable for businesses, and it can mean growth, not just from a reputation standpoint, but for your bottom line. And while there's no silver bullet, there are key steps, which we'll be getting into in just a moment. But before that, just a few stats here to show just how important trust is for businesses. And it matters more than ever right now to your customers. And like I mentioned before, it can impact purchasing behaviors with your brand. So according to research from Edelman, the vast majority of customers are they're way more cautious about who they trust with their hard-earned money. And businesses are increasingly seeing the linkage between consumer trust and the commercial value this delivers once it's earned. So just some stats here, 71% of consumers agree that trust is more important than ever before. And for brands, once a new customer trusts you, they're 59% more likely to make a purchase. And finally, if you keep that trust, then they're 67% more likely to become loyal customers who repeat purchases over an entire lifetime with your business. However, there's a gap. And so what is that gap? Well, in a PwC survey in 2024, it actually highlighted that 90% of business executives think that for the most part, their customers generally trust their businesses. However, that same survey showed that only 30% of consumers actually do trust the businesses that they engage with. That's a 60 percentage point gap, and that has grown since 2023. So it was 57 percentage points that time. It's now grown to 60. So this is showing not a great trend, that that gap is just widening. And like you see here, 60 percentage points, that's the average difference, and it's getting bigger. So what can we do about it? Well, Here are some of the next steps. We're going to talk about how to turn reputation into revenue. So before we get into that, I just want to remind ourselves about how Trustpilot can help your business build trust, grow, and improve. So there's 5 key actions that you can take to measure and build trust and to impact your bottom line. We'll walk through each one of them today. So the first one is to invite all your customers to leave reviews. This is where the trust journey starts. So by collecting real, authentic feedback at scale. Then you'll engage with that feedback, not just to respond, but to show customers you're listening and acting. From there, you accelerate conversions with social proof, embedding reviews and Trustpilot assets across your entire customer journey to turn your prospects into customers and your customers into loyal advocates of your brand. You'll then use insights from your reviews to understand what's working, where you might need improvement, and really to make business strategy decisions using qualitative feedback that your customers are providing you. Finally, you'll see the impact of your star rating. So it's a measurable lift that translates directly into better performance. So together, these steps will help you build a stronger brand, grow your customer base, and improve your experience using trust as a growth lever. So let's dive into it. Okay, let's start with the first and arguably the most visible way to turn your reputation into revenue. That's growing your trust score. This is where trust becomes measurable. Trust score is often the first impression customers have of your business. It's what they see on search. It could be what they see in ads, even across your website. And so we all know first impressions matter, and we want to make sure that that is a really good one that you're having, that your business is showing to consumers. So the good news is that let's say you're staring down a 3.1 trust score. You might be thinking to yourself, how am I going to grow that? It is incredibly difficult and it could be overwhelming. But the reality is that it's not as hard as you might think. And in fact, small improvements to your trust score can actually have massive impact. So again, we're looking at this 3.1 star rating. But even if we move it to 3.3, the wonderful part about that is it might not seem like much, but a 0.2 increase in your star rating, our data has actually shown that on average, businesses see a 50% increase in purchase conversion. And so then when you get to a 4 point or higher trust score, that's when it gets really great. So our data has shown that businesses with a trust score between 4 and 5 have 8 times more conversions than a business with a 3 to 4 trust score. So that is really just showing the power of the not just the trust score, but having these trust signals. And showing what that means to a consumer when they're investigating and they are making decisions on whether or not to work with a business. So moving to step 2, I am going to have my colleague Drew take it and walk us through.
Thanks, Elise. So yeah, one route to a higher trust score might start with your review invitations. And you should really think about inviting all of your customers to leave a review. Now I get it. Inviting everyone kind of feels risky, but here's the magic. Casting a wide net actually strengthens your reputation. Consumers don't expect perfection, right? In fact, seeing a 4.7 star business and hundreds of reviews feels more real than a 5.0 with barely any. And when you automatically invite every customer to leave a review, well, you're building verified credibility by not cherry picking. And our own data supports the power of automating your customer reviews. As this chart shows, 88% of customers that automated reviews in 2023 improved their trust score. And our data also shows that 89% of automated service reviews had positive sentiment. So automation really does win for your business. As many of you know, you can automate your review invitations directly through Trustpilot. But have you tried using integrations in your workflow? We recently launched a HubSpot integration, which is available on the premium plan and upwards, to trigger invites at just the right moments in your customer journeys. So getting reviews is one thing, but ensuring you engage with all your customers is absolutely critical. And this is where you really start earning their loyalty. As these figures from London Research and Canvas 8 show us, customers have really high expectations around having their voice heard. And, well, clearly they want you to respond quickly too. But managing reviews at scale takes time and effort, and frankly, it can be quite overwhelming. And this is exactly why we developed AI-assisted review responses. AI does all the heavy lifting for you whilst maintaining the human touch and critically ensuring you remain in complete control of your response. Your responses will only ever be sent when you're entirely happy with them. And AI is actually really gaining traction. According to a Bright Local study, when consumers compared review responses, 58% actually preferred ones written with the help of generative AI. So with Trustpilot's AI-assisted review response tool, which is available on the enterprise plan, you'll be saving time, staying on brand, and reducing response time from an average of 39 hours to 21. It's a smarter, more scalable way to show your customers, that they've been heard. And that's a really key driver of ongoing loyalty. So let's take a look at the next step, Elise.
Thank you, Drew. So that leads us to step 4, accelerate conversions with social proof. So what do we mean by that? Well, as you start to grow your star rating, or in Trustpilot's case, our trust score, and that starts to build, it's when you really want to start to capitalize on that and drive momentum by showing that rating across the entire customer journey. So if you were to think about how the natural progression that your customers have when they're deciding to invest with your brand, think about the funnel. So all the way from awareness, all the way through to conversion, having social proof throughout that entire journey really can drive conversions throughout. And we will start to show first with awareness. So we did a study last year with Kantar, and the results were quite incredible. So when we teamed up with them to run a study of how Trustpilot stars in TV ads impact consumer behavior, the results were quite incredible. So brand confidence jumped by over 8 percentage points. Brand trust rose by over 7 percentage points, and the likelihood to purchase or endorse a brand increased by more than 8 percentage points. Now, as we make our way down that funnel and we start thinking about the digital and social ads that are out there, that is also a great opportunity to add your trust signals. So adding your star rating, review content. And in fact, we did a research with London Research and a study that leveraged a car insurance ad that featured Trustpilot. And the results, again, were great. The ad featuring Trustpilot was 2.5 times more persuasive than the same ad without it. And consumers were 10 times more likely to click when they saw real stars, real reviews, and a Trustpilot badge. So I'm sure, like myself, you've seen ads like this all over your social feeds. When you add trust signals like that, it really helps you break through the noise. And we actually have a tool that allows you to do this in a really turnkey fashion. So we recently launched, it's called Asset Builder. And it makes it even easier for businesses like yourselves to embed these trust signals in all of your creative. It's available on our premium plan, our advanced plan, and enterprise plans. And it helps you create high performing social assets in just a few clicks. So you'll be immediately unleashing real customer content that champions your brand across all of your digital channels. It's a perfect and hassle-free way to help your brand go viral and help drive sales digitally. Okay, when you use your Trust Score in your website, you can actually drive performance there as well. So we learned that with the London research study, over 63% of US and 64% of EU consumers are more likely to click through on a Trustpilot co-branded ad if it contains a customer review. And in the UK, that stat is actually 73%. It doesn't stop there though, because when you're using those exact same trust signals to help traffic to your website, it can also, like I mentioned, help drive traffic within your website and actually help drive purchase. This last stat shows that we took the median of a number of businesses leveraging our showcasing tools, what we call TrustBox widgets, and it's a 23% increase in online conversions when they were using those tools compared to businesses that were not. Okay, another great feature that we've just launched allows you to do a ton of those the selling across your website using what we've called Flex widgets. And review highlights. So Flex widgets, which is available on our advanced and enterprise plans, help you build trust and drive on-site conversion by showcasing these trust signals where they matter most across your entire website. And the best part is you can actually not worry about going out of your brand guidelines, because the Flex widget allows you to adapt that by size, by color, and by the trust signals that you want to fit anywhere across any part of your website. And so it can really stand out in some of those high trafficked areas like product pages, the checkout page, even your homepage. Review highlights, which is available only on our enterprise plan, takes things a step further, and it allows you to show key quotes from reviews, and you can actually leverage tagging and performance topics to use a keyword of your choice, which is great. You can extract quotes about certain topics on various product pages, or have something about your fast delivery or customer service on a checkout page, and it helps to drive that that final conversion that turns shoppers into buyers. Okay, so let's explore how this works across that full purchase journey. So it's not a one size fits all social proof. And there's different moments in your customer journey that call for different kinds of credibility building with your visitors. So during the awareness stage, as we mentioned at the top of the funnel, it's about credibility at a glance. That's where Flex widgets can be a great asset. They let you surface your trust score, number of reviews, and key trust signals in a clean, lightweight format that fits seamlessly within your brand's design. Consideration. So your audience now wants more than just stars. They're evaluating if they should purchase from your business, and that makes it the perfect moment to highlight why people love you with the widgets that call out quotes from your customer reviews. So like we mentioned, with review highlights, you can dynamically pull out the recurring themes customers mention most. Things like great support, fast delivery, excellent value. These give your visitors confidence in your strengths right when they're weighing their options. Okay, and finally, conversion. So when your potential customers hit that conversion stage, trust needs to do the heavy lifting. And that's where a well-placed widget with real reviews and ratings can reduce hesitation and actually push them over the line. It's that final nudge to give them the confidence they need to, whether it's click buy or click through the consultation, whatever that conversion is. If you featured reviews that mention highlights from post-conversion experiences like delivery or customer support, things like that can really drive that final move. Anything to make the task to purchase and sign up a no-brainer. So Flex widgets and review highlights are built to adapt. Whether it's your homepage, your pricing page, or checkout flows, you're always showing the right proof at the right time. And I am going to now pass it back to Drew to take us through the final step.
Thank you. So, right team, now you're actively building trust. You're engaging with your customer feedback and you're showcasing trust at every stage in your buyer journey. So how do you measure the impact? And how do you get deeper insights? And how can you improve? Well, let's jump in. Back in the day, data access was the problem, right? And that's just not the case anymore. As this research from Salesforce tells us, the real challenge for most businesses today is managing the complexity of all their data. And I'm sure that many of you on the call are nodding right now in agreement. And that's why we developed Analytics Explorer. It's a new feature that empowers you with the information you need to build trust and growth for your business. Trustpilot's Analytics Explorer will let you track your widget performance, see referral traffic to your profile page, and analyze how long visitors are engaging with your reviews. And with a Trustpilot topics report, which is available on our premium plan and above, you can actually take your reviews even further and pinpoint the exact themes that customers are praising and exactly where you need to improve as well. And these insights aren't just interesting, they're actionable. They help you refine your strategy, prioritize improvements, and keep building a brand that customers trust and will want to continue to buy from. So today we explored 5 ways to turn your reputation to revenue with Trustpilot. And we really hope that you can see that trust isn't just a soft metric. It's measurable, it's actionable, and it will help your business drive that all-important revenue. So whether you're inviting customers to leave reviews, engaging with that feedback, or you're accelerating conversions with social proof, or you're using insights to improve your CX and measure the impact of your star rating and making an improvement based on what you learn, we at Trustpilot are here by your side, helping you build trust, grow, and improve your business. So if this has sparked some ideas for your team, we're ready to help you take the next step. Feel free to book a tailored walkthrough based on your team's goals and challenges. Thanks for joining Elise and I today, and here's to turning stars into strategy.